So I am gonna continue with solving equations, but these ones that we're gonna speak about today are gonna be with fractions. So first of all, before I go on and show you any solving equations, I want to take a look at adding and subtracting fractions. So I have one example for adding, and I'm gonna do one example for subtracting. So the first example on adding, let's say I've got 2 over 3 plus 5 over 4. So let's say I have this one. Every single time you add or subtract fractions, we need to have the same number on the denominator. That's the bottom part of the fraction. So I need exactly the same number on the bottom. To get the same number on the denominator, I need to find the lowest common multiple of 3 and 4. So for 3 and 4, the lowest common multiple of them is 12. So what I need to do is I need to multiply the first fraction by 4, both on the top and on the bottom. And I need to multiply the second fraction by 3, both on the top and on the bottom. 2 times 8, that gives me 2 times 4, that gives me 8. 3 times 4 gives me 12. Plus 5 times 3, that's 15. 4 times 3, that's 12. So I've got 8 over 12 plus 15 over 12. This one is an equivalent fraction of 2 over 3. 15 over 12 is an equivalent fraction with a 5 over 4. So now the only thing I have to do is to add the numerators. So I'm adding just the top bits of the fraction. So I do 8 plus 15, that's 23 over 12. Now I need to look at this one and figure out, can I simplify it? That means, can I divide the numerator and denominator by the same number? And for this one, I can't really do that, but I can write it as a mixed number. So to find out, I need to think how many 12s go into 23, and that's 1. And then I need to figure out the remainder, which is 11 over 12. So this is my mixed number over there, and this is how I do the addition. Exactly the same thing happens when I do subtraction. So again, here I needed the lowest common multiple of 3 and 4, and that's 12. So most of the time we just write LCM and say that's 12. Or are there any other notations related to that? And obviously the last bit over here that I've done is I've changed it into a mixed number. So I've changed it into a mixed number. I'm going to do a subtraction example as well. So I'm going to go with, let's say 3 over 8, take away 1 over 4. So I'm looking at 8 and 4, so I need their lowest common multiple. And if I look at 8 and 4, it's 8. So the only thing I have to do is multiply the second fraction by 2, both on the top and on the bottom. And 3 over 8 stays the same. Take away 2 over 8. So I'm just looking at the top bit. So 3 take away 2, that gives me 1. 1 over 8 is fully simplified. I can't change it into a mixed number or anything else. So that is my final answer. So I'm gonna do equations that have to do with fractions. So that's why I wanted to do this before. So I'm gonna go on and do the equations now and show you how we can have equations with fractions and how we basically use the methods for adding and subtracting fractions to solve the equations. So let's just go on to the equations part. So I'm going to start with the first bit. So first example over here, let's say we're taking 7x, take away 1 over 8, take away x minus 2 over 4 equals to 3. So you see I kept the 8 and the 4 very similar to the example I've had on subtractions. So again, for this one, I do advise we get a really big fraction with a common denominator. So the first thing I would do in this case, I would find the common denominator, which in our case is going to be related to the lowest common multiple of 8 and 4, and that for us is 8. So I'm multiplying this one by 2 and I'm leaving that one as it is. So I've got 7x take away 1 over 8 take away, and now I need to be very careful because I'm multiplying every single bit here by 2. So I do x times 2 and I do 2 times 2 as well. So 2x take away 4 over 8 equals to 3. Now I'm going to make it a really big fraction, so I'm going to leave the 8 as their common denominator like this, but I'm going to see what I have on the top. So I've got 7x here, take away 1, and now I need to be very careful with this minus because this is a minus 2x and it is a minus negative 4, so it looks like that. So I need to be careful with the 2 minuses there. So I'm going to put the extra step though. I think in general this could be done in one go, where I just change the minus and a minus to a plus. Put an 8 equals 3. Now from this I need to simplify this one, so I'm just gonna move to the other page. So what we have is we have 7 take away 2, which is 5x. Then I've got negative 1 plus 4, which is plus 3 over 8 equals to 3. So that's what it looks like from the simplified version on the other side. And now, as I've done before, and I'm gonna make sure I link the other video either in the corner or down in the description. So we're multiplying by 8 on both sides. So over here, when I multiply by 8, I'm just gonna be left with the 5x plus 3 on the top. And then 8 times 8, that gives me 1, divided by 8 times 8 over here gives me 1 on the bottom, so I don't need to write that anymore. 3 times 8, that is 24. And now this becomes a simple one, where I take away the 3 on both sides. I'm left with the 5x equals to 21. I'm going to divide by 5. So I've got x equals to 21 over 5. Now, because I've already done mixed numbers on the other side when I've looked at the addition, so let me show you again. So when I've done it over here, I've changed the 23 over 12 into 1 and 11 over 12. I'm going to do the same on this one. So this time I've got 21 over 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about how many 5s go into 21, and that's 4. What's the remainder? 1 over 5. So that again, I've changed it into a mixed number, and this is my final answer over there. So it's quite straightforward, I think, if you are okay with subtracting fractions. Now I want to do one with adding fractions as well. So I'm going to go with x plus 1 over 3 plus x plus 4 over 4 equals 2. And I'm going to go a little bit faster with this one. Again, we need a common denominator. So I'm multiplying this by 4 and this by 4 again. This by 3 and this by 3. So my common denominator in this case is 12. So I've got 4x plus 4 over 12 plus 3x plus 12 over 12 equals to 2. I'm going to write it as a big fraction. So I've got 4x plus 4 plus 3x plus 12 over 12 equals 2. 4x plus 3x, that's 7x. 4 plus 12, that is 16 over 12 equals 2. Just going to multiply by 12 on both sides, so I don't have a fraction there anymore. So I'm left with 7x plus 16 equals to 24 again. I'm going to take away 16 on both sides. So got 7x equals to 8. Divide by 7. So final bit, I get x equals to 8 over 7. Now again, I want to write that as a mixed number. So let me show you. I get 8 over 7. So I want to write that as a mixed number. So I'm going to put it on the side over here. So how many 7s go into 8? And that's 1. And I've got a remainder of 1. So I go 1 over 7. And that is it. So 2 examples on adding and subtracting equations of fractions over here. And I've also done 2 little examples on actually adding and subtracting fractions so that you understand what happens. Now, I hope you found these ones useful. If you have any questions, just let me know and I will speak to you soon. Enjoy the day. Bye.